Well, so when Wafeek was asking me, well, what do you guys, what do you want to present on? I actually have three passions in my life. So the first is multimedia, because I've been involved in multimedia for 15 years. And then natural and alternative healing is another passion. But recently, in the last 5-6 months, I met up with Keith, and I've known Keith for 16 or 17 years. He was a local business owner, and we've been friends for a long time. But I knew that a while ago Keith was into cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, and I hooked up with him and I said, Keith, what's going on? Can you educate me? And so Keith has become a mentor in the world of cryptocurrency. And so tonight's discussion is cryptocurrency, the blockchain, the coming financial revolution, and why it matters. So I'm going to hand this over to Keith, and Keith and I are going to kind of go back and forth. I'm kind of playing the MC for this, and then Keith is what I would call a resident expert to me. In Charleston, I only know of a few people who really know what's going on in the world of cryptocurrency. So Keith, tell us about yourself and how you got into this world.
I'm a resident of Charleston for about 24 years now. Yes, I was a small business owner. I've owned coffee shops and restaurants. So a lot of experience in retail. And I got caught in that 2008 recession. It about killed me. And I don't know if many of you remember that 9 years ago. But it changed a lot of things for me and for a lot of people. And a lot of people lost a lot of money. And I was one of them. So what do? You crawl in a hole, or do you come out of the corner fighting? So obviously there's a point where you've got to reflect and come up with a new game plan, and that's what I did. And I dabbled in a lot of different things and found my way into cryptocurrency a couple of years ago. And I knew a little bit about Bitcoin at the time, and then I had an opportunity to get in it and invest in it, and I said, boy, this sounds like something I could really wrap my head around and wrap my arms around and have a lot of fun with. So having said that, so we kind of sprung this on you guys on what we were going to talk about tonight. So who's familiar with cryptocurrency? Anybody familiar with cryptocurrency? Anybody familiar with Bitcoin? Anybody heard of Bitcoin? Okay. All right, well, that kind of gives me an idea of where we're at. The class earlier today, I think we had about 25 people too, and one person raised their hand. So roughly 5-6% of the people in the world know anything about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. So today we want to give you an overview. I'm a macro guy. I'm a big picture guy. So I'm not a micro guy. So you may stump me on some questions. So I'm not a person that's going to give you the inside workings of everything about cryptocurrency, but I can tell you what I think it is and how it's going to affect the world and change the world, and I can tell you what it's doing for me, my family, and what it's doing for me and my vision, because I have a big vision of change, and we talk about change and how you're going to change the world, and it may be through cryptocurrency, maybe in something else, but I'm going to tell you one thing. In the next 3 to 5 years, cryptocurrency, blockchain, Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies is going to be mainstream in your vernacular, period. So take that to the bank, to the digital bank. So we start off with to the digital bank. So we put a picture up there and just to provoke thought. Bye-bye banks. So what the heck is he talking about? Bye-bye banks. Banks are entrenched in our society, heavy and deep. The ivory towers are all over all the big cities, and there's more branches than we'd ever know what to do with. And here we are, we're in the digital world. So we're going to have some conversation and discussion about banks and what's going on and how banking is going to change. So I'll start you out with one figure that I just read here in the last few weeks is 70% of bank employees will be gone in 7 years. So you may think, well, a lot of it's got to do with the digital world, and that's pretty much it. But there's something else that's even more revolutionary than a bank going digital, and that's cryptocurrency, and the blockchain, and that's what we're going to talk about. So
when I first had this conversation with Keith, probably about a year and a half ago, I was at an event and I ran into him. Keith, what are you up to? He says, I'm dabbling in cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. I was kind of like, say what? So that was my reaction. So I was one of those three people. I was probably started out confused, and then I became unsure, and right now, these days, I'm excited. Of these three, which, by a show of hands, Who in here is confused when you hear this term cryptocurrency? Anybody? Just be honest. There's no right or wrong answer. How about unsure? Who's unsure? All right. Anybody excited? They know. Okay, a couple people, they're excited about Bitcoin. All right. So you're not unlike most people. A lot of people start out when they hear the term for the first time, they're confused, and if they look it into a little further, they might go through each of these. And you know, when they really wrap their mind around what it is, I find that a lot of people, and I've only been in this for 5 months, become excited. You know, Keith's been in it for 2 years. Other people that we know have been in it for longer, and everybody's excited about it. What we're going to discuss tonight really are these areas. What is cryptocurrency? And we'll get into e-wallets later. Looking at the evolution of history and money, 7 disruptions, Bitcoin, the blockchain, and opportunities.